Hey guys, this is Greg with Medical Muscle. All right, so I'm just a few months out before taking step 2. And I'm kind of seeing what has been a really good thing for me since starting medical school and what I would have done differently. Okay, these are things I wish I would have done differently or done earlier. So if you're not in medical school yet, if you haven't started, or even if you're in your first year and you're on a break, like a spring break or winter break, I would really suggest shadowing specialties, especially the specialties that you're interested in, but a variety of specialties prior to going into medicine. I have a lot of friends who thought they wanted to do something, probably because it sounded cool. They get into the rotation, they realize absolutely not, okay? And I can say that I am not choosing what I originally had gone into because I had experience in neither what I wanted to do and what I want to do now. So I feel like people just take that, shadowing box, for medical school, they kind of just check it off. That's what I did. I just shadowed a family medicine doctor because it was convenient with my school schedule. But I think I would have shadowed other specialties so I get a better picture of what other fields do, okay? If you're interested in, anything like ophthalmology, shadow an ophthalmologist. If you're interested in surgery, shadow a surgeon, okay? See what it's actually like. See if you actually want to do it. See if this is what you want to do. And it gives you a clear goal about like why you're working so hard in school, right? Okay, so another thing, if you have any experience, if you have any time to get any kind of medical experience, like being at the least being a scribe, that'll help you a lot. Just get an idea of what a hospital is like, kind of like what the flow is. I don't know, that'll help you more in clinicals. But anyway, starting in term 1, something I wish I did from the goddamn beginning is doing Boards and Beyond. Okay, so Boards and Beyond it's a guy, and he goes through different topics and just explains them in the most beautiful way that that I've heard so far. He's just able to take very complicated topics and make them very simplified. Most of my friends used that, or Pathoma. Pathoma's really good too. He's another lecture video guy. But Boards and Beyond for me was the most effective. And down below, I'm going to give you guys a link so that you can get a little discount if you do want to start Boards and Beyond. What I noticed was lecturers would give the lecture, okay? And for me, I would just take that at face value. That's what I need to know about the topic, because SGU, it's an SGU lecture. That's who's going to give the exam. That's who's writing the exam too. So I need to for sure understand it the way that they want me to understand it. Okay. And I didn't want to add alternative lectures like Boards and Beyond because I felt like that was extra work. But I come to realize that what is presented in lectures may not be, clear to how I understand it. And there may be missing pieces that would complete my understanding, and I would understand it better. And in the long run, even though you're spending like an extra 15 minutes on a lecture, you're gonna save so much time because you do not have to revisit it because you understand it better. And you're gonna do better on your tests. You're gonna do better on your quizzes. I guarantee it, seriously. First aid, very useful too. It's an alternative source, gives you like quick notes. I wish I used that a little bit more too, because it just saves you time having little easy ways to remember things. It's just a book of easy ways to remember little things. So yeah, Boards and Beyond, links below. Okay. The next thing I would have done differently. Okay. So between term 1 and 3, I feel like it's really important to do the questions from the school because you're at this phase, you're trying to learn the basics, okay? But once you hit term 4, they're starting to this is SGU, in term 4, this is year 2, if you're not from SGU. So the start of year 2, you know, the year before you take STEP, they're starting to wrap all the material together and kind of interconnect things so that you're getting prepared for step 2. And I think getting an alternative question bank from your school's question bank would be very helpful. Okay, so in term 4, you're not given one. You're not given any question banks until term 5 at SGU. You're given UWorld, you're given USMLE RX, and I can't remember, there was another one. But I would add AMBOSS. AMBOSS is very hard, very hard. Their questions are very hard. I would say in some ways harder than UWorld. They just really grill you on minor details. But I feel like in general, they complete my knowledge on some topic. Again, like Boards and Beyond, it completes my knowledge. You know, UWorld, I think at a certain point, they just hit the, I know how they are gonna ask questions, and it's good to see a different way of asking a question, okay? I'm just saying, AMBOSS does that. AMBOSS is really, really tough. And Boards and Beyond, too, also has questions, so that's nice too. So if you're in term 1 and you wanna review with extra questions, you can do it through Boards and Beyond. And then, like, finally, like the last point I'm gonna make, and what I really wish I started doing from the beginning, is sticking to a realistic schedule, okay? Realistic hours of studying. When I started, I said I'm gonna study all freaking day. And I think between term 1 and 5, you technically could study all day. You could, because you have that much time. The requirements that you have are only 2 lectures and then maybe a small group, right? That's max like 4 hours a day, maybe, right? So you do get a lot of off time to study, so you could technically study all day, but that's not efficient. You should be efficient. You should set specific times that you're gonna be in your study place, and you're just gonna work hard. And then when you're done, okay? And set your schedule up so that you work so hard that you get time off at the end of the week and you're not working nonstop, okay? That was something that I did not figure out until term 4 and 5 because the workload was so high. I'm like, I can't just be crushing myself every single day, every week for months. It's a marathon. Medical school is a marathon. So you do need to make breaks, but to give yourself breaks, because you got to go through all the material, you have to follow a schedule and work very hard when you are actually studying, okay? So when you sit down to do your study time, you get your coffee, you know, you got your noise canceling earphones, you're not listening to music, you're just studying, you're working, you're pushing it, okay? Okay, and then when you're done, okay? And you're not just like doing half-ass studying all day and on the weekends. No, you're working your ass off, you know, for maybe 4, maybe 5 hours, and then you get to take Saturday off and go do something fun, okay? So that's something I wish I did from the beginning. It'd be very effective. And then one thing I'm just kind of learning now, because clinicals they're different, and it's the gunner mentality is stronger because, you know, there's not as many opportunities. There's different opportunities. There are fewer opportunities, and the people who stand out, you know, can get, you know, a little ahead. But sticking your head out too far and being too hard of a gunner can also put a big old target on your back from the residents and other students. So I think just as a reminder, like say when you get into clinicals or even when you do small groups, you know, try as hard as you can to put yourself out there, participate, definitely. But then also give other people the opportunity to speak and, you know, and to shine too. Because at this point in clinicals, I realized, you know, in the beginning, like it felt kind of cutthroat a little bit, but as people have like failed out or things like that. It comes down more to teamwork, and it's not about being cutthroat. It's about, you know, these are teammates now, and that you guys are working to, you know, you do have a role as a medical student in clinicals. You do have a role, and sometimes you give some really good information that had been missed, you know, or you give some point that wasn't thought of, you know. So you're now part of the team, and you're working with your classmates to also figure things out for your patients and helping each other. So I'm just basically saying teamwork, okay? Anyway, guys, I hope you guys kick butt. There's many more videos to come, so I hope you do well on whatever exam you're doing.